In this video, we're going to be taking a look at evaluating numerical expressions. You're going to need your Go Math book and turning to page 47, your math journal, and a pencil. Now, in your math journal, I do want you to write down the essential question, which is, in what order must operations be evaluated to find the solution to a problem? Now, let's take a look at page 47. A couple different things, and it's important to connect. As it says on page 47, remember that a numerical expression is a mathematical phrase that uses only numbers and operation symbols. So you can see examples that are right in your book on page 47. Now, to evaluate a numerical expression with then one operation, you must follow rules called the order of operations. Now, here are the order of operation rules. Perform operations in parentheses first. Okay, and then after that, you want to multiply and divide from left to right. So if a division problem comes first from left to right, you divide first. If a multiplication problem comes first from left to right, you multiply first. And then add and subtract from left to right. Now, there's a little saying, which is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, that will help you for the order of operations. The P represents parentheses first, the E represents exponents, the M is multiplication, the D is division, so it's multiplication or division, whichever one comes first from left to right. The A is for addition, the S is for subtraction, whichever one comes first from left to right. Okay, so I usually just like to write P, E, M, D, A, S. Okay, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever one comes first from left to right, addition or subtraction from left to right. Okay, so let's take a look at the unlock the problem on page 47. It says a cake recipe calls for 4 cups of flour and 2 cups of sugar to triple the recipe. How many cups of flour and sugar are needed in all? Okay, now we're going to evaluate 3 times 4 plus 3 times 2. Okay, and it's important to remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, showing us the order of operations. Now, we can see that Heather did not follow the order of operations correctly. Okay, and what she did first, she added first. Alright, and then she multiplied. Now, what's wrong with this? It says explain why Heather's answer is not correct. Okay, we know, according to the order of operations that we even looked at back here, okay, you do not add first. What you need to do in this case, okay, what you need to do, you need to multiply first and then add. So what you would do, you would take 3 times 4. Okay, that's going to give you 12. All right, and then you bring down your addition sign. Okay, plus, and we have 3 times 2. So we'll write everything down again. Now, following order of operations, we do not add 12 plus 3, then multiply it by 2. We actually do 3 times 2 because multiplication comes before addition. 3 times 2 gives me 6, and let's write this down. And then we will drop the 12, drop the addition sign. Okay, so, and that now, 12 plus 6 is 18. You can easily see, so 18 cups of flour and sugar are needed. Okay, let's take a look at the example problem. Okay, even above that, page 48, it says evaluate expressions with parentheses. To evaluate an expression with parentheses, follow the order of operations. Perform the order of operations in parentheses first, multiply from left to right, then add and subtract from left to right. Now you can see my little phrase here, and you'll want to write this phrase in your math journal. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses first, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever one comes first from left to right, and then addition and subtraction, whichever one comes first from left to right. So we have this problem here, each batch of cupcakes Lena makes uses 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of milk, and 2 cups of sugar. Lena wants to make 5 batches of cupcakes. How many cups of flour, milk, and sugar will she need in all? Okay, so here's the problem. So we write the expression 5 times 3 plus 1 plus 2. Now, I know the order of operation always says that you multiply first before addition. However, remember the P stands for parentheses. So anything with parentheses you always do first. So we take 3 plus 1 plus 2, and that's going to give us 6. Okay? And then what you do from here, we have 5 times 6, and that's going to give us 30. So after you do the operation in parentheses, then you take that 5 times 6. Okay, then you can start doing order of operations again, but we only had just 5 times 6, giving us 30. So we see that Lena will use 30 cups of flour, milk, and sugar in all. Okay, let's take a look at this hot problem. What if Lena makes 4 batches? Will this change the numerical expression? Okay, so 4 batches instead of 5. So you can see basically wherever there's a 5, it would be 4. So we can see that it would be 4 times 3 plus 1 plus 2. So following order of operations, we do parentheses first. We have 6, and then 4 times 6. Obviously, you can see the answer is yes. Okay, the 4 would replace the 5, and also the value of the numerical expression would change to 24. Okay, and I want you to copy the answer that I have down right in your math books on page 48. Okay, now let's take a look at the share and show section, and let's do some of these problems together. Now we have our order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, then addition and subtraction. Whichever one comes first from left to right with multiplication and division. Whichever one comes first from left to right with addition and subtraction. Okay, so we take 10 plus 36 divided by 9. The first thing we will do is take that 36 divided by 9, and I know that's going to give me 4. Okay? And then, so I will write my 4. And then after that, I'm going to drop my 10. I'm just going to write it over here. So we'll do this together. So now we have 10 plus 4 equals 14. Okay, so 14 would be my answer there. Now taking a look at the next problem. We have 9 minus 3 times 2 plus 8. Remember, order of operations, you always do parentheses first. Okay, so we can just rewrite this right in your math journal. 3 times 2 plus 8. So first thing, 3 times 2 is going to give me 6. We do that in parentheses because that is first in our order of operations. So we have that finished. Now we have 9 minus 6 plus 8. Okay, now looking at order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever one comes first, addition or subtraction, whichever one comes first. Now since subtraction came first, we're going to subtract 9 minus 6, giving me 3. And then we can just add the 8 at the end. 3 plus 8 is going to give me 11. Okay, so if you're ever confused on addition and subtraction being in the same problem, this would be a good part of the video to come back to. Now what I want you to do is work this problem out all by yourself. When you're finished, you can press play and I will have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, so you can see my work. I did parentheses first, and then I did my multiplication after that, and then I took my 53 and subtracted 40 from it, giving me 13. Okay, here's another problem I want you to do all by yourself. When you're finished with it, you can press play and I will have the answer for you. Pause the video now. Okay, here's the answer. We have the answer 2, and you can see my work and compare it to yours as well. Okay, so here's another problem, and I want you to pause the video and work through this problem all by yourself. When you're finished, I will have the answer for you. Pause the video now. Okay, the answer that you can see here is 50. Okay, here's another problem. These are numbers 12 through 14 on page 49. It says rewrite the expression with parentheses to equal the value given. So they're giving you the answer, and what you need to figure out is where to put the parentheses. Okay, so 14, 23, and 2 are all the values. They're all the answers, so just find where you need to put the parentheses. Work through these problems by yourself, and when you're finished, you can press play and I'll have the answers for you. So pause the video now. Okay, so here are the answers. You should have had 100 minus 30 in parentheses. Okay, and here are the other 2 answers as well. Okay, here's the test prep problem for you, and I want you to work through this problem on page 50. When you're finished with it, you can press play and I'll have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, here's the answer, letter B, and make sure that your answer matches mine. If not, you may need to rewind the video. Okay, so taking a look at the essential question, in what order must operations be evaluated to find a solution to the problem? We can see the answer to the essential question is right here. Perform operations in parentheses, multiply and divide from left to right, add and subtract from left to right. Remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally can be a helpful little tip on order of operations. If you have any questions about this concept, please come and see me.